Welcome to Unwrapped, the B Corp Spotlight series, where we invite people from B Corp brands to answer some of the most frequently asked B Corp questions. I'm Katie, your host, and today I'm pleased to welcome Laura Harnett from Seep. It's great to have you here, Laura.
Oh, thank you very much for having me on.
Laura, you've kindly volunteered to answer the question, is B Corp greenwashing?
Yes, I love this question because it's something that I get asked a bit about, whether it's just people that want to cover up or just have a sort of stamp of approval so people don't look deeper. And my view is that most B Corp brands aren't using it to greenwash at all. It's especially if you look at a small brand, it's a serious commitment of time, of money, when you've got lots of other things you could do. That for me, it shows really strong intention from a business that they want to do the right thing, and that's not just across environment, it's across social, across the way they how they work with customers. So it's a pretty strong indication for me that people are sort of putting their money where their mouth is and following through. So, but that doesn't mean that I think all B Corps aren't greenwashing, and it also doesn't mean that if you're not a B Corp you're greenwashing. So I think it's just a really one of many really good indications that a business is trying to do the right thing.
From your own B Corp journey, what particular highlights could you share? Not necessarily, I'm not going to say an example of best practice, but something that you're really proud of.
I think I'm going to probably not do ourselves any favours, but I'm going to talk a little bit, I think, about one of our biggest challenges, actually, and how the B Corp certification helped us, and kind of being part of that structure helped us figure out how to respond to it. So really early days, we launched a cloth, those microfiber cloths and kind of J cloths are kind of universally used, and we wanted they all nearly all of them contain polyester or polyamide, so they're not biodegradable. And so we launched a cloth. It took us a while. We launched a cloth, and then we had a new member join the team who was a really sort of deep textile expert, and she kind of felt it, and she was like, "Oh, something's not quite right here." And she was like, I know we've had tests from the supplier and from the manufacturer, but have we done it? And we hadn't. We believed what we were being sold. And so we sent it off for tests, and lo and behold, there was, a small percentage of polyester, so plastic, in our cloths that we had been selling as plastic free. So we were kind of completely gutted, because that's what we'd been sold them, and actually our supplier didn't even know. They had been sold, in the fibres, and we just thought, gosh, what do we do? And so we just thought, okay, what is the right thing to do in this situation? And so we contacted all of our customers that had bought it. We put, and explained to them what had happened, and it wasn't good enough, and gave them refunds, and said that these are the things that we're going to do next. We're going to keep looking, we're going to discontinue them and keep looking for something that's better. And we kind of posted publicly about what had happened and how it can happen and what we've learned from it. And I think that's probably, whilst it felt quite natural to us, actually in probably previous roles in bigger corporations we wouldn't have done that. And so I think it's sort of signing up to a thing that means that you're going to be better and transparent. And actually the response we got back from our customers was, look, thank you for being transparent, thank you for owning up. You probably didn't, no one would have known. And so I think it's doing the right thing even if people don't know.
Yeah. And even if perhaps you don't necessarily have to. You didn't have to take those steps, and you didn't have to own it. Let's say, it was a mistake. It was completely unintentional. And you could have just gone, oh no, well, let's change things. But actually you went back. That's just fantastic. And I think that just encapsulates what being B Corp is about, certainly from my view anyway.
That's good. It was pretty hard at the time. But I think it taught us a lot, actually, on lots of levels.
And it's about trust, isn't it? And respect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And what a fantastic example of actually putting that into practice. You know, it's easy to talk the talk. It's not always as easy to walk the walk, but you've done it. And, you know, obviously it was the right thing to do, like you say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not a sort of proud moment at the time, but something that we can look back, and it was a moment for growth, I think.
Yeah, and how you dealt with it, you can be proud of that without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Laura. It's been a real pleasure having you join us in this series. And for those of you who are watching and want to find out more about Seep, you will find all of the details and the links that you need below. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, and most importantly, please go and explore the rest of the series. Thank you again for joining us today, Laura.
Thank you so much, Katie, for having me and doing such a wonderful thing for B Corp Month. That's great.